And I want to show you a way to add some nice looking visual symbols to our websites and how to display certain reserved characters using HTML entities. Before we look at HTML entities, let's take a look at why they are needed by adding to one of the product descriptions. So for example, if we go down to, let's say, the camera, and let's go to the description. In fact, we'll go down to the lenses down at the very bottom. So inside the descriptions, if you wanted to extend this and maybe add some additional information inside the brackets, let's say for Canon models less than 2017. So you can immediately see that the text editor has changed the color of the less than symbol here, indicating there's a problem. This is because the greater and less than symbols are classed as reserved characters in HTML. These particular ones are reserved because the browser might mistake them for these HTML opening and closing tags, which we have here. So these can be replaced with a HTML entity. All HTML entities begin with a ampersand and end with a semicolon, with a certain code in between. So it looks just like this. If we remove the less than symbol, we can add the ampersand, which is this character here. Less than uses the LT, and then a semicolon at the end. Now this is changed from red to be the same color as the rest of the elements. So this should all be working fine. So save that, reload, and if we go down to the image, down at the bottom of the camera lenses, and there's our description. So for Canon models less than 2017, so our symbol is now displaying in the browser. Let's take a look at a couple more just for demonstration. So greater than uses GT. Refresh, you can see the angle bracket is now pointing to the right. If you wanted to display this ampersand, which we have here, this is AMP, which is short for ampersand. Reload, and there's the symbol just there. Another entity we could use is for the quotation. So instead of AMP, we could use QUOT, which is short for quotation. Save, and then reload. And now we have the double quotation in place there. There are also many more entities which you can find with a quick Google search if you're more interested. Entities are also useful to display symbols which are not on a standard keyboard. So let's take a look at some of these, beginning with the copyright symbol. The copyright symbol is simply copy. Make sure we have the ampersand and the semicolon at the end too. And there's our copyright symbol just there. Let's scroll in just to see this a little better. Let's take a look at the registered trademark, which is reg. Refresh, and now we have the R in the circle. And also some more, such as a currency. So let's take a look at yen. Save that one and reload. And now we have a yen symbol, which is not on my keyboard. So that's how we can use these. And of course you can Google these and find out lots more we can use. There is hundreds of different ones, so just search for any particular one which you may need to add. So I'm just going to remove this extra section which we added in and save this. As well as finding more of these online with a Google search, there is a website we can visit called unicodetable.com. If we head over to there, you'll find a huge range of symbols you can use in your projects. There is the most popular ones at the top, or you can scroll through a huge set of icons below. Let's do a search using the search bar at the top. So let's search for game. In fact, we'll search for video game. And then click on search. And now we have a video game controller symbol. So if we click on this, we see we have two different numbers. We have a Unicode number and also a HTML code. This HTML code starts with the ampersand, just like we used before, and ends in a semicolon. We're going to use the HTML code, so let's copy this code we're given, go back over to the project, and then let's scroll up to the game controller product. Here's the title just here. So afterwards, let's paste this in, then over to our project and reload. Scroll back up to the game controller, and there we go. So there's our little image which we just added in. It's underlined because it's still within the link. So let's cut this out and paste this outside of this A tag. So just like that, and then reload, and now we don't see the underline for the link. Now we have a nice looking controller icon next to our product title, and as you can see by the Unicode table, there's literally hundreds and thousands of different ones which we can use in our projects, and I'm sure you'll find lots of good uses for these as you progress.